Hi everyone, it's Samantha Lux. Welcome back to my channel. You know, you guys, I was really having a wonderful time not talking about Ariel Scarcella. I was living life, loving my life. You know, it was just great. It was wonderful. And then last week I got a little comment on my YouTube channel saying that our beloved friend Ariel Scarcella made a brand new video and she used my content. She reacted to me. She's talking smack about me, the doll. I hate when people call themselves a doll. It's so weird. But me, she's talking about smack. Let's hear it.
Samantha, that is no random old gay. So please, you and this woke community need to stop gaslighting him and telling him that something different happened when he was literally there and you were not even born yet.
I think this is actually the first time that she's responded to me, at least on video. You know, she's like tweeted back at me a few times or whatever, but I've called her out a few times in the past. She said that being non-binary was sexist. She said some other weird stuff. I don't know. She kind of just rambles, but apparently this week's rambling topic was yours truly. I figured we could watch this little video together. I have not seen it yet, so we're just gonna kind of blind react. That's a thing, right? Blind reacting to it. I was gonna script this video, but I mean, it's Ariel. I mean, there can't be too much happening, right? I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so mean, but like, if you don't know, Ariel Scarcella is a kind of like an OG YouTuber who made content about lesbians way back in the day. She gained a pretty big following from this. You know, she was friends with a lot of LGBT creators, and then she kind of switched. She did a little switcheroony, you know what I mean? She went from being this pro-LGBT content creator to this anti-trans content creator. I mean, when you look at her channel, read some of the titles: Respect My Queer Identity or Die, Dumbest Lesbian on the Internet, Cis White Women Allies Are Dangerous, My Tits Are Out, But I'm Non-Binary. Like, give it a rest. Give it a rest. I saw somebody comment on one of her videos that her ex must have been non-binary and broke her heart, and that's why she's out here on a rampage against the trans community. I believe it. There is no explaining this craziness. For today's video, we're gonna be watching this video and seeing what she had to say. My name is Samantha Lux. I post new videos every single week here on my channel where I give you guys my opinion as a trans woman who studied media. So if you guys are not yet subscribed, go ahead and do that right now. Go ahead, I'll wait for you. I'm trying to think of what else I can do ASMR with because I don't have my nails on. Are you done? Thank you very much. Maybelline, sponsor me. I'm sorry. I also have an Instagram, a Twitter, and a TikTok, so feel free to follow me over there to keep us up to date with me as possible. I also have a Twitch that I play video games on every single week, so definitely go follow me on Twitch so that you guys get notified next time I go live. If you guys like the work that I do here on my channel, I do have a Patreon, and that is the best way to support me and my channel, so feel free to donate over there. Thank you so much. But yeah, with no further ado, I'm a little nervous. Let's see what she had to say. Okay, the video is titled Dumbest Lesbian on the Internet, reacting to queer TikTok hate. Oh boy, let's go.
No one has made this dramatic of a change yet.
This flavor of pick-me-ism is absolutely insane to me. Like, it just fascinates me.
As insane as your orange sherbet colored hair, nose ring, check, badly cut bangs, check, whining passive aggressively in a I'm better than you voice, check.
And then you go into
What's going on here? What is happening? We're just getting right into it. Right into the name calling, right into the meanness. Okay, all right. A few things to point out here. Juno Rose, the person who's being reacted to, this video has 40 likes, 7 comments, 0 saves, 1 share. Ariel was searching for this video. She went on searching. Who's talking shit about me? Who can I make fun of on my channel today? I will say I'm glad that later in the video she reacts to my content because it's like, pick on somebody your own size, girl. Listen, here on the Samantha Lux channel, we do not attack people's appearance, even though we very well could. All I'll say is people in glass houses should not throw stones, especially when their hair looks like that. And like, is she wrong? Are they wrong? I don't know their pronouns. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Are they wrong? Did they lie? Is this video not you being a pick-me? Is you coming out with a big old, I'm gay, I'm a lesbian? Is the video with you bragging about being a conservative lesbian not an example of you being a pick-me? Let's just Google pick-me for Ariel Scarcella, shall we? Let's see. A pick-me girl is a woman who obsessively desires male approval and validation, often at the expense of other women. So if we translate this from a pick-me girl to a pick-me gay, a pick-me lesbian, she would be a pick-me lesbian as a lesbian who obsessively desires straight approval, approval from the straights, that desires straight approval and validation, often at the expense of other LGBT people. That's what you're doing. You're saying, look at me, I'm a rational lesbian. I'm not crazy like those other LGBT people. See their orange hair and nose ring? Ha ha ha, so crazy, am I right? Orange hair. Oh, your brassy blonde hair is about a shade away from orange. What are you talking about? At least theirs was intentional as giving nice orange sherbet vibes. You know what I mean? Yours is just giving burnt, dusty, crusty, fried noodle. I'm sorry, we don't make fun of appearances here on this channel. I'm so sorry. But it's like, leave her alone. Leave her alone.
As insane as your orange sherbet colored hair, nose ring, check, badly cut bangs.
The badly cut bangs, that's the style, girl. You don't know anything about style, girl. With your duck sweatshirt. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you want to talk about things that are badly done, let's talk about your editing, sis. Because I can see where you cut out content because they got like a little glimmer of a frame. You know what I'm talking about? Glass houses, sister. Glass houses.
Whining passive aggressively in a I'm better than you voice check.
And then you go into the comments and it's even crazier. There's this one that was something along the lines of, oh, I'm glad I'm the only normal gay kid in school. And it's just like,
I mean, let me not. But there is something to be said here about the fact that being a normal gay is normalized. Like, we have made it. These types of people, not so much. And I can see why.
Is the orange hair really that crazy? Is that all it takes to be a wild lib nowadays? Orange hair? Oh my lord. You guys are so sensitive over there. You know, I would honestly argue that even normal gays are not as accepted as she thinks. Yes, you may no longer get beat up in school if you're gay. I mean, you probably still are, let's be honest. But even if you are a normal gay, you're expected to act a very certain way, a very digestible, tolerable way for straight people. So I would argue that you're really not that accepted. The normal gays in question, I would argue they still can't hold hands in public, right? They're only accepted because they do everything behind a closed door. They're only accepted because they don't shove it down straight people's throat. Is that a life that you would like to live, Ariel? A life where you have to hide behind closed doors, where you can't hold your partner's hand in public? Is that acceptance to you? Is it really a success for the gay community if only gay people that look straight are accepted?
They tend to be the types to be hating on my content the most.
like you really think that you would be spared from any sort of like violence or bullying or whatever. I don't know.
Exactly. You don't know. Personally, the only bullying that I experience is from the far left. The new age conservative.
I only get bullied by the far left. Girl, look at your Twitter feed. Look at the echo chambers that you're in. This is the definition of not reading the room. The definition of like no context clues. The definition of living in a bubble. She says, I'm a lesbian and I don't get hate from anybody except for you LGBT people, you woke LGBTQs. Really? Really? Have you seen the 200 laws against gay people in this country? Have you seen that? I hate to break it to you, babe, but gay marriage is next. And that's not even me just trying to fearmonger. Once abortion rights are taken away, once trans things are done for, gay marriage is next. And then interracial marriages after that. Like there's a whole plan set out in place that's very explicit about what they intend to do. You just have to look into it. You just have to read. Can you do that? Are you capable of reading?
You can't even read.
Oh my God.
Who are basically generally old school liberals, moderates, people that are politically homeless, so somewhere in the middle, you know? Never give me shit. Even the majority of actual religious conservatives don't bully me. They might not agree with me or my lifestyle or whatever, but they don't bully me.
Girl, what do you mean they don't agree with you? You've been talking shit about trans people for like a year, 2 years now. Of course they agree with you. Why would they not agree with you? You're catering to them.
You've seen that a lot of liberals are now turning conservative. This video is going to explain why. Honestly, it's not.
The premise at the beginning of this video is a lie. Younger people are not in any way becoming more conservative.
I didn't say younger people. I said a lot of liberals are now turning conservative. Or
I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second. Show me the citation. Sources, please. Works cited, please. You could say a lot of people are doing this. There's a lot of ants outside building an anthill. Okay. Compare that number to other numbers and let's see the trends. Let's see the trends, babe. Let's not just look at a little slope. Let's look at both. I'm talking in rambles now. I hope you guys know what I mean. But like, when you dumb down a sentence this much, you can make anything true. Most liberals are going conservative. No, that's not true. More than half of conservatives are going liberal. No, that's not true. A lot of conservatives are going liberal. No, that's not true either. There's a group of people that are conservative that are going liberal. Okay, you finally got somewhere. Congrats. You finally made a kind of true statement that has no relevance whatsoever. The real truth of the matter is more people are going from Democrat and Republican to independent because they no longer are relying on this two-party system to get their views. But people are not leaving the Democratic side to become more conservative. They're leaving the Democratic side so that they're not associated with Democrats, right? But they likely still hold very liberal or leftist values.
old school liberals don't believe in anything that far leftists believe in. But you know who does? Modern day conservatives. Whatever you want to call them, they're still the same type of person, right?
I'm so confused.
Old school liberals don't believe in anything that far leftists believe in. But you know who does? Modern day conservatives. conservatives. Whatever you want to call them, they're still the same type of person, right?
And the fact that they are not becoming more conservative is a new feature. Women especially are becoming more liberal. Younger people are becoming more leftist, not more liberal.
Yeah, and that is the issue for me. Thank you for clarifying.
They've become a party that can be bought and basically has almost no core principles, saying they want to raise the minimum wage without actually doing anything about it, not really improving anyone's lives while pretending that they are the party that does so.
Maybe it's just me, but I don't know any liberals or whatever this person wants to call them who have been bought. Quite the opposite, actually. Remember, when I came out as leaving the left, right, I lost the majority, like 99% of my friends. I lost a ton of brand deals. I'm no longer invited to, conventions like Playlist Live and VidCon.
This girl's lost. She is lost. I'm like having to take notes to follow what she's saying right now. This is just crazy to me. I literally just have to take a note to figure out what she's saying because it just doesn't make any sense. So the person that she's reacting to said that libs, as in Democrats, are typically a party that can be bought, and so therefore they don't really do what they say they're gonna do, which is a large reason why a lot of young people, and even just Democrats in general, are moving towards being independent so that they don't have to just blindly follow the Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party is kind of, not doing great. But she combats this person saying that the Democratic Party has been bought and so it's not as great as it should be. She combats that by saying that actually conservatives are the ones who aren't bought. I'm so confused. She says that libs are not being bought, it's the opposite. And that when she became conservative, she lost money because brands no longer wanted to monetize her and like that. I'm not like, am I losing it? Am I the only one that thinks this doesn't make any sense? Am I the only one that's like having a hard time connecting the dots from that to that?
If 2 + 2 is 4, right? And 5 + 5 is 10, okay. What the is this?
So the Democratic Party has large investors that kind of make it so that they're not doing what they should be doing. But also, when you go conservative, you lose brand deals. How do those two go together? Oh, she's so silly. She's so silly.
The majority, like 99% of my friends, I lost a ton of brand deals. I'm no longer invited to, conventions like Playlist Live and VidCon. So if anything, the far left is way easier. It's just...
You got kicked out of these events because you're acting weird online. Okay, you're acting weird. Consistently talking about the trans community, or the non-binary community, or the woke community, whatever you want to call it, having this series called LGBT damage control, it's weird. People don't like it. The only people watching your content now are far-right anti-trans activists, right? Is the LGBT community perfect? Are we a little bit crazy sometimes? Maybe, yeah, maybe a little bit. Are we crazy enough to deserve hundreds of videos by this girl calling us crazy and weird and pointing out things that are problematic to her? No. But in the next clip, she reacted to our friend Sam Collins, our friend Sam. Hi, Sam. So let's see what she had to say.
I am not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, but I am very aware and have been studying these people from afar for a while and have noticed a few patterns. And I'm going to simply use those patterns to show you why I think a lot of these people do have borderline personality disorder.
Congratulations, but you are not a doctor, nor are you a therapist. So do you have the ability to diagnose somebody with a personality disorder? Probably not.
Agree, which is why I literally said that I am not a doctor or a therapist. And I said that these are behaviors, and they are behavioral patterns that I've noticed in these types of people.
Okay. And I noticed that you're being weird. Actually, I said that I wasn't a medical doctor. So me going on to diagnose them as having borderline personality disorder, it doesn't even matter because I already put that disclaimer in. Yeah, but you can't say the disclaimer and then do the opposite. You can't say, I really don't have the credentials to be diagnosing these people. I really don't have the credentials to be, analyzing their behavior, but I'm gonna do it anyways and make fun of them on the internet for it. I'm gonna do it anyways, accuse them of having a personality disorder to make the whole entire community seem unwell, and that's what I'm gonna do, and if you criticize me, you're wrong.
The funniest part of this all is that the people who tend to watch content creators like Sam are generally the types of people that I was speaking about, not gonna lie. And if you look at his comment section, you cannot make this up. I swear to God, it is over and over and over again. I'm a queer person who has borderline personality disorder. Queer with BPD here. This video coming out the day after I got diagnosed with BPD is crazy. I'm a bipolar queer, blah, blah, blah. Although bipolar isn't what we were talking about, but they wanted to put their 2 cents in, I guess. I'm a queer diagnosed with BPD. Literally hundreds of comments in his video of people saying that they were diagnosed with BPD. So thank you for proving my point. This comment just made me laugh, so I have to include it.
This is just weird. It's weird. Even if you were right and there was a connection between borderline personality disorder and being trans, okay, and like, what's your point? To demonize borderline personality disorder? To demonize the transness? To demonize them together? Like, what's your goal here? I also have to bring up my very favorite 6th grade math lesson, which is correlation does not equal causation, right? Just because two things happen next to each other, or, you know, a lot of the times with each other maybe, doesn't mean that one causes the other, right? So specifically with borderline personality disorder, when we talk about it, when we think about it, borderline personality disorder is a personality disorder that is created through trauma, right? It's created through childhood trauma. What is something that a lot of queer people have in common? What is something that a lot of queer people experience in their childhood? Trauma. So could it be that maybe the trauma from being queer in a childhood could be influencing some of these people to develop borderline personality disorder? Could we think that maybe, you know, these things are correlated, but not causing one another? You know what I mean? Like, just, I don't know. You guys know what I mean. You guys are smart. She's not. It's the same as when people say that, like, oh, all these trans people are autistic and they're all transitioning just because they have autism. No, babe. Maybe people with autism are just more likely to be aware of their gender identity. Ever think of that?
Ariel hates non-binary people because her ex came out as non-binary while they were dating before Ariel went full turf. Not true. I don't hate non-binary people. I've also never dated somebody that came out as non-binary while I was dating them. Like, the rampant lies that
You do, and you did, allegedly.
Allegedly.
are just somehow created and believed on these sites are actually quite hilarious to me at this point in my life, but still ridiculous. Literally nobody in the real world is gonna call you bug self.
If calling bug bug self will make sure that bug does not unalive bug self, then I will call bug bug self. So I guess I'm nobody.
I mean, I'm glad that you're proud of that, I guess, but I will continue to sit here in my knowing that yesing people to death is not the way to help them grow. Lying.
You and your knowing, you and your knowing things. Like I said before, you're not a doctor, you're not a therapist, you don't know what's best for people, clearly. Like, listen, I'll say it, you cannot assume that everybody in public is going to immediately pick up on your neo-pronouns, but if you have a friend who would like to use neo-pronouns, what's your issue with it? Like, is it really that big of an issue? If it's that important to somebody and it would make them feel better about themselves, I'll call you whatever you want. I really don't care. Like, it's just not that deep. I had friends in middle school that were like, can you call me like, hey, I don't even know. I don't want to say a name because I know that in the trans community, we come up with some very creative names, just like the most out there names. They'd be like, call me this. And I'm like, okay, girl. Let's go to lunch, girl. Like, it's just, who cares? You're just weird if you care this much. Should they be in therapy? I don't care. I don't know. I don't care. If they're my friend, their mental health is my problem. Of course, like, I would want the best for them, but I'm not going to be like, you're mentally ill for that. You need to go to therapy. Like, that's not relax. Your job as somebody's friend is to make them feel safe, make them feel comfortable. And if you're refusing to use words that make them feel comfortable around you, you're not going to get very far with, helping them get better, persuading them to go to therapy. They're just going to think, oh my God, you guys, here I come. This is my part. I just saw myself, so I rewinded for you guys. This is me. Let's see what she says.
Lying about the present or the past is not helpful to anyone. White gays are indebted to black trans people. No. Historically speaking, no. Samantha Lux had a lot to say about this.
That's me right there. You have people who are 20, 30 years old today that are trying to tell people that were there. What we saw isn't what really happened.
Not only is this dismissive of the original creator, she is now being dismissive of the work of all trans activists before us, literally just all of them. Like, maybe Marsha didn't throw the first brick, but to deny that trans people had any part in the liberation of the LGBT community is idiotic. Who is this random white gay? I don't care. I ate with that. You have to admit. I went off. I mostly love the fact that it pissed her off, though. Goal accomplished. Check. Ding. Now listen, am I saying that every single right that the LGBT community has is owed 100% to trans women and trans women only? No, of course not. All that I'm saying and all that I think that trans activists are saying when they bring up, you know, like, you owe trans people is the fact that trans people have always been right there fighting alongside you. We've always been here to help advance gay rights. We've always been here to help advance the LGBT rights as a whole. So now when trans rights are more important, where are you?
Nobody said trans people didn't play a part at all. What we are saying is that LGBT people don't owe everything to black trans women. That none of these rights would have happened if it wasn't for them. Literally the rewriting of history as I speak.
You know, it's hard to say what would have happened if somebody hadn't done something. We don't have a magic lens, a little crystal ball to see into, like a little hypothetical butterfly effect. We don't have that, right? What we do have is the fact that trans people were on the front lines. The fact that trans people started the riots at Stonewall because of laws that were put into place that outlawed wearing clothing of the opposite sex in public. That is a specifically anti-trans law. That's what sparked it, not your little gay friend. Like I said, we're not saying that lesbians and gays owe everything to the trans community. Girl, I don't give a you know, I really don't, but it would be nice if you didn't shit on us. It would be nice if you helped us get our rights now that we're the ones under fire. It would be nice if you didn't create hundreds of videos targeting the non-binary community and the trans community. We're not saying you owe us. We're saying we were there for you. Why can't you step up and be there for us? Why are you spending so much energy on tearing us down and saying that we had no part and you got your rights all by yourself and your friend was there and he didn't even see any transies? Like, give it a break, girl. Give it a rest. My thing is like, what's your goal with this? What is the point? What if the point of saying, oh no, you weren't there, just so you can say, I don't have to defend you. I don't have to stand up for your rights. You didn't really stand up for my rights. I got my rights on my own. Is that what you want? Okay. Because clearly you were not going to fight for us anyways. We do not need your help.
Samantha, that is no random old gay. That is Fred Sargent, a friend of mine, who was literally, like, if you see the photos of the first ever LGBT pride in like Stonewall March in New York City, 1969, he is in the front of one of those, or few of those actually, of those photos. Like, he is in the photos. He was there.
I don't care. I said what I said and I'll say it again. I don't care about your gay friend. I don't care about your random white gay friend. I don't give a I don't. Thank you for being there, sir. Thank you so much. Oh my God, I owe my life to you. No, I don't care. Listen, if he wasn't coming out and talking smack about trans people, then I would have applauded him. I would have given him his cookie. Like, it's great that he was there. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not knocking him for being there or for anything. Thanks for doing that, sir. Now you can go into your little retirement home and sit down. I'm sorry, that's a little mean. But for real. And by the way, this Fred Sargent man is not some random white gay like I originally thought. He's a full-on anti-trans, like, he's like a male TERF. He's a gay TERF on Twitter. Look him up. He's not somebody we want on our side, nor is he on our side. Like, be for real.
So please, you and this woke community need to stop gaslighting him and telling him that something different happened when he was literally there and you were not even born yet.
Oh, he has proof that every single person there was cisgender. He has proof that nobody at the Stonewall riot was trans. That's what he has proof of. He has the proof. Just bring it to me. Show it to me, Rachel. Please show it to me now, Rachel. Show it to me. Show me the proof. He doesn't have proof because that's impossible to have because they were there.
Here's what a few friends of mine had to say. Black Angel said, this weird narrative that trans people built the LGBT community, that we all owe trans people, is so full of shit. I transitioned 31 years ago. There were very few trans people to help. Gay men helped. So F yourself trying to rewrite our LGBT history to satisfy your own agenda.
To satisfy our own agenda. This man is wild. Okay, I transitioned 31 years ago. Okay, let's do the math. 31 years ago from 2024, I think this was in 2023 that he tweeted this. What's that? 1990? Somewhere around 1990. Stonewall was 69, my guy. So you had not transitioned yet. So you were not there. So you don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I don't know if that means he wasn't there. Maybe he was like pre-transition, but the fact that you transitioned 31 years ago doesn't really mean much. And like, also, I hate when people bring up the whole like, oh, Marsha was a gay man. She wasn't even trans when she started that. Can we just take a second to be aware of the way that words change over time and the way that new words become introduced to a society? Because way back then, during Stonewall times, there was no transgender. There was people that had the surgery and they were just a woman, you know what I mean? But a lot of times trans people would refer to themselves as a drag queen or a queen because they didn't have any other language. To use that against them and erase their trans identity when they had come out and said that they liked she, her pronouns, that they had come out and said they were going across the world to get gender affirming surgery, to come out and say that just because they didn't use today's language to describe their identity means that they're not really trans or that they weren't really trans is silly. That's not accurate. Also, Buck, can you please relax? He's tweeting me, go F yourself. Sir, aren't you like 90? Don't you have a bingo card to fill out? It's a little ageist. I'm not trying to be ageist. It's Buck Angel. I can be ageist.
Somebody else said, meanwhile, you completely erase black lesbian, Stormy DeLevine. Also true. Good job admitting that you flat out don't care about.
Also true. Also true. I didn't erase anybody, girl. I was talking about one person. I'm sorry. Sorry, Stormy. Or Storm. Hopefully she's cool. Hopefully I'm not calling out a transphobe or something. All right, you guys, that's it for what you had to say about me. Yawn, boring. Ariel, can we get some arguments, please? Like, can we make it a little bit challenging next time? To my trans ancestors, thanks for fighting for us. Thanks for being visible. Thanks for throwing those bricks. And to Ariel, relax. That's my only advice for her. Just relax. All right, you guys, what did you think of this video? Am I wrong? Am I the wrong one? Am I the problem? Let me know in the comments. If you guys like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up down below. I post new videos every single week here on my channel, so if you guys are not yet subscribed and you would like to be, go ahead and do that right now. And yeah, other than that, I think I'm gonna go. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.